What's going on, everybody? I'm FJ, and welcome to Burn Notice. We're going to go ahead and add my co host, beautiful KTB Saucy. What's
Hi,
up?
what's up?
How was your beautiful Saturday?
Oh, fantastic and hot. How was yours?
We did birthday parties. I cooked hot dogs on the grill. I drank some beer, so it was it was a good
Perfect.
day. I had a great day with my family, and of course, I work 6 days a week, so my one day off a week, I'm like, yay, party time!
I get
Yeah,
it.
I hear
100%.
Wilbur in the background.
Is it,
No, he's fine. He's
you
fine.
sure?
Yeah, yeah. Like he could come on and like chug a beer right now, be like, yeah, and then
Oh,
leave, and
perfect.
that'd be fine.
I love that you said you had a family day because we did the exact same thing. His mom has come down to hang out for our youngest daughter's birthday party, and she's been here for the whole week. We did some shopping and some yard work, and I replanted my peppers. And yeah, it's been a big day, and it's been super hot here in South Carolina, and I can only imagine where you're at, how hot it is.
So I had like 10, 11 year olds in my house today. So of course the open doors and we're like
Yeah.
open, close. And I'm like, in or out, kids. And then of course that's how dads yell. And then they're like, okay, is everybody good? Okay.
I'm
We're
sorry I
fine. We're
yelled.
fine.
Please don't
I'm
be
sorry I
traumatized.
yelled. This is your first time. That's what we're doing. So anyways, I yelled and then got back to normal. It
Yep.
is currently 79 degrees in my home because nobody wanted to shut doors and it's 99 degrees outside.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Today's brutal for sure. I think it was 93 was the hottest we hit in South Carolina today. Ugh.
Oh. So I don't know. Oh, we got one beer. Awesome. Awesome. One beer, that's fine. So this is our first time. We've been talking about doing this for about a year now. And we finally were able to. You were like, sent me a message this week. You're like, hey, so when are we going to? And of course, I have ADHD. Ethan's our beer. So I have ADHD. So I'm like, oh, I gotta hyper focus on this now. And so I I was able to get us to this point, and we're able to still allow you to do your family stuff and meet me up here.
Yeah, it's
That's
perfect.
awesome. So topic of discussion tonight. Um, KTB Saucy, who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you? Who are you?
Oh gosh.
If somebody didn't know you and I just met you, and I'm not trying to do formal interviews here or anything like that. If I just met you, who are you?
Okay. Give me 1 second. I will answer
Mm.
that very big question I'm not used to answering. Hey, Will, can you give me an inside voice for about 30 minutes? Sorry. It's okay. Shut up. I'll shut up. No, just tone it down a notch. You're doing great. Proud of you, buddy.
Good job, Will. We love you.
Jared says you're doing great. We love you.
Good job.
He says he loves you too. That's a really awesome question. Who am I? I'll tell you just like I told Johnny Scoble the first time I ever met him. I'm River and Willow's mom. I'm
Yeah,
Will's wife.
yeah,
That's first and foremost. Uh, those are the first. That's the first. And then after that, a chili head, someone madly in love with hot sauce and peppers.
yeah.
Somewhere along the line, I became this personality, this persona within this community that's really interesting and I'm still trying to learn about in
Yeah,
and of
it's
myself.
dynamic.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just me. I'm a goofball. I got a lot of, I'm damaged, but I'm always trying to fix it. And I'm a little extreme, but I try hard not to let that be a problem for anybody else. And a lot
I
of
get
things,
it.
man. I guess maybe that'd be the point of the show is to figure out who and what and why we are and
Yeah.
why it even
Well,
exists. I think you see me better than most people do.
it's like this. We all have a purpose in life to do what we want to do, and if we can do what we want to do, deal with the adult crap for like the other 10, 20%. We're happy. Normally, the
Yeah.
adult shit runs over into our lives about 75%, and we only get to enjoy 25% of our life. Well, that's where I'm at now. I'm trying to take back my life and make my hobby, my fun, my
Yeah.
family more than 50%. Because I'll be honest with you, as a truck driver, my family will get about 10% of me. Yeah,
Yeah.
you deal with the same thing. Wheels on the road all
Yep.
the time.
Yeah.
So same idea. So I'm Jared. I gave myself the name Farmer J 5 years ago because I had this pepper seed box and it had like 6 packs of pepper seeds in it, and I was gonna write Farmer Jared just for fun, and I ran out of room, so I could only fit the J. So I'm like, yeah, Farmer J. Never thought about it again. Nothing. And then so I was like, oh, it's Farmer J's pepper seeds. So that's how I got this nickname. I started growing peppers. I wanted to eat them, and I started testing myself and eating more peppers and having fun. And then I met Ethan and Nancy Ha and Nick Paris and all these cool people in this pepper community. And I came for the burn and stayed for the people. And that's
Yeah. Dude, you guys saved my life. Like, just to piggyback, I guess, off of the personal side, like, you're on the road all the time, and I can put myself or imagine it being in Hope's shoes. Like, that's how I felt with Will. I was lonely. I was sad. Like, I wasn't my optimal self, uh, being that lonely and sad and depressed. And fortunately enough for me, I grew up down the street from Pucker Butt Pepper Company, and I was always obsessed. Like, I loved hot sauce, loved food, loved the whole like culinary side of it because of my dad. But Pucker Butt, having that down the street was just cool, you know.
yeah.
And then like Hot Ones came out and all that stuff, and so from like 2014 to 2000, I'm gonna say 17, like Pucker Butt was a big thing for me. And then I realized, like, I learned that there was a community of people that were into the same thing. I was obsessed with the burn. It's a rabbit hole I continue to go down. It started with sauces, and then it moved into peppers, and then it moved into competitions, and it moved into the community and the people. And there are times where like Will can be gone almost an entire month during a holiday, and you guys keep the burning, the sauces, the community, the people, the friends I've made. Y'all keep me strong for my kids.
That's awesome.
I don't
That's
know if
awesome.
we ever, like, no one's ever gotten that deep with me before, but that's the truth of it. Y'all keep me good, level, sane, going,
And
and I love it so much.
I would say that I'm kind of in the same predicament because I'm not necessarily I'm not the one at home. I'm the one that's gone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what's keeping me sane. That's where I met Ethan. Ethan was a 911 dispatcher, and we met at like 2 o'clock in the morning one night. And he was on the same shift I was on, so we would just chat like and BS, and it'd make the night go by a lot faster. So
Did
let's
y'all meet over peppers first?
do what?
So you met like in the pepper world first, and he's like late night shift 911, and you're
Yeah,
over
and
the
I
road
was
driving, and y'all
yeah
just chat and stuff.
yeah. That's how we met.
I didn't know that.
We found each other in a grow group in PLC Pepper Lovers Community,
Uh-huh.
and we traded seeds, and then we would just chat all night long.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was just like a blossoming bromance.
Love it.
Yeah. So topic of discussion, just general topic. If you were just now coming into the pepper community, so like this is your first day, okay, and you're like, hey, I think I want to try this hot sauce, or I think I want to do this challenge. What do you wish somebody would have told you back then in 2020?
Okay, number one, Jared. my first true run-in with a challenge was long before 2020 and far before I knew that there were pepper groups. See, I was a dumbass, sheerly by myself with no recordings and very little proof. I didn't know my first legit challenge. Okay, hold on a minute. My 30th birthday, which was like 8 years ago, don't tell anybody.
2 years ago?
Birthday, okay. Yeah, I'm 38. So. My 30th birthday, I did the Buffalo Wild Wings challenge, which the sauce isn't the challenge back then. The wings, they cheated. They like had the wings way too temperature hot, but I still smashed it, got the t-shirt, blah, blah. Then that was the bug that bit me, and I moved on to the next challenge, which was the Death Nut 2.0. Here's what I wish someone had told me. I did not know this. I did not know that cat cramps existed. I did not know that you should not take that type of challenge on an empty stomach. I had no idea what was happening to me. My first like legit burn was in the middle of a work day on an empty stomach, bragging my ass off, and someone handing me this box of Death Nut 2.0, being like, "Here, hot shot," in front of everyone. They were recording me. They were trying to make a fool of me, and I beasted that shit. But I was miserable the rest of the day, dude. I was so miserable. I was calling Will, thinking I was gonna die. I wish someone had taught me then prep. You need to prep or just get sick afterward. But I didn't know what cap cramps were. I thought that capsaicin only burned in your mouth. I didn't know that it would burn in your stomach for hours later.
Yeah. And that's so much fun the first time you figure it out. So my first challenge was the 1 chip challenge, and I was fine. Apparently I had ate something, but I didn't know to eat, of course. So circling back, the thing that I wish somebody would have told me is prep.
Yeah.
Because you don't know that. The first time you have cap cramps, you're like, somebody Google why I'm dying. Why am I dying? Somebody get their phone out or call an ambulance. One of the two. I'm dying. So,
and this is the real reason you and Ethan started talking. One night you were like, "I'm dying, please."
I dialed 911 and I was like, hey, I'm at your zoo and I ate the Pocky 1 chip challenge and I just shit on an elephant.
I'm dying. That's amazing.
So no, not really, but yeah. So nobody told me that.
Yeah.
And so I came home from church, and of course, if you have kids and you go to any kind of function early in the morning, whether it be church, the zoo, any kind of festival or anything like that, as a parent, you don't eat. You make sure they eat, you brush hair, you put their hair up, you get them dressed, and then you run out the door 20 minutes late from the previous time you wanted to leave.
Exactly.
That's what you do. So I go to church, I come home, and I look at Hope and I'm like, hey, I got this cool Choco Loco chocolate bar. I'm going to eat it. And of course, I don't do stuff for the gram. I don't do stuff for Facebook. I just do stuff, whatever. I do more stupid stuff off camera than I do on camera. And you might can hear my kids, whatever. They're stupid.
Love it. I love it.
So
mine are cool right now.
So I ate this Choco Loco challenge, and I don't have to tell you about chocolate challenges, but 10 minutes after I ate that, it hit bottom, and I was like, curled up on a ball in our bed, shivering, shaking, sweating profusely. And I told Hope, I was like, you get on your phone, Google why I'm dying right now. I think I'm dying. And she said, oh, okay. You're having what's called capsaicin cramps. I think you'll be okay. And like 20 minutes later, I was. So, yeah, I wish somebody would have told me about prep. 100%.
So I have a question for you. Just in the times that we've hung out, you have something I find very interesting. You don't get sick if you get cap cramps.
No.
You just beast them out?
Unfortunately, my stomach has a very high threshold. So unless the challenge makes me sick immediately right then, if it's pods or something, I can eat 20, 30, 40. Unless the pods make me sick, I digest everything.
Wow.
It's a very unfortunate thing because I know a lot of people are able to go and make themselves vomit, boot, whatever you want to call it, and then they escape the whole night of laying next to the toilet. Yeah. Whereas I'm on the footboard, holding the footboard because we have a sleigh bed. I grab the foot of the footboard and I just squat down and I sweat and everything and just riding my night out.
That's nice.
So does all your challenges make you sick?
No. Over time at this point now, so again, I did challenges before I knew there was a group of people that did them. Like I just always enjoyed doing that kind of thing. Like, So no. Let me think about it. Do they always make me sick? No. The only times that I ever get sick is if it hurts so bad in my stomach, I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
That I just can't. The only time that I ever experienced hours upon hours of excruciating pain was the Black Mamba 16, the final bite challenge. When that's, bro, I was miserable for at least 15 hours. And it's one thing to burn in your mouth. It's a whole different. I have a whole different level of respect for people that can take a burn in their stomach for hours and hours and hours.
Well,
I
I mean,
just can't.
it's almost like this. Like once it's in you, unless your body rejects it, you don't have a choice. Like that's where you're at. And I can't tell you how many times that I've been laying on the floor or laying on the couch in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And it's like, this is it. I'm done. And you have such a love for it that you're
Yes.
back the next day and you're like,
Yeah.
and like, okay, so you'll know what I'm talking about. So say you drink too much and you're like,
Yep.
I'm never drinking again.
Yes.
And then the next Friday night you're like,
That is it. That is it,
so,
bro. That is
and,
it.
and it's the same thing with capsaicin, peppers,
Yes.
hot sauce, anything. You're back right at it, and like you never skipped a beat. Okay, so basically we've come to the conclusion that we wish somebody would have told us about prep.
Yes.
What would you per se have done differently besides prep? If you would have known to prep. So say if somebody said, "Hey, eat a big meal, do your challenge, and then eat another small meal afterwards," do you think you would have listened, or do you think it would have took learning?
Oh, I don't know. All right. So that's a loaded question because now you're
I
asking about
know.
personality wise.
Yeah.
When I was first presented with a legit challenge. So like it wouldn't have mattered. The answer is it wouldn't have mattered. That's the short answer. Once you present that challenge in front of my face, it doesn't matter what you tell me, how you tell me, why you tell me. I'm going to go balls deep into it until I can't anymore. So it wouldn't have mattered.
100%. I feel like that's something that you would have had to learn on your own. All right.
Yeah.
So bring and the same thing for me. I don't think that I would have. You always trust yourself more than other people. So you'd been like, I'm the type of person who was like, okay, I'll heed your advice, heed your warning, but now I have the hypothesis. Let's see what we're actually doing. And I think that's what we.
Well, maybe there's two parts here because if you're asking about the first time, yeah, no. I feel like that's two parts of what you
Okay.
just said. So the first part would be if someone presented me with a challenge and then said, but do this first, or here's ice cream after, whatever, it wouldn't have mattered because you presented me with the challenge. And now just by nature, I'm gonna do the challenge. I mean, it's do or die at that point, and I'm gonna go as far into it as I can until I can't anymore. However, when we talk about people that give you prep suggestions, everybody's different. So there's some people that swear by peanut butter, some people swear by margarine butter, some people swear by just eat a big meal. I think it's different for everyone. Me personally, whole milk before, whole milk after.
And you're good.
Yeah, that's usually the secret to the sauce for me. And if that doesn't work, then But I think that's the fascinating thing about challenges is everyone's genetic makeup and biological makeup is different, and the way that we respond and react to the capsaicin is different. I don't know if that's talked about honestly enough.
Oh, no. And you bring it to a great point. There's actually 5 different capsinoids that make up capsaicin. And every person responds to each capsinoid a little bit different. So the capsinoids, since there's 5 different ones, there may be 6. I want to say it's 5 during my research, burn different parts of your mouth. So the first time that this came up to me is I ate a chocolate, not chocolate bula. Okay, so let's just say a super hot pepper, and then Nick Paris ate the same super hot pepper from the same grower, and then Revere, which was got ink all day, ate a pepper, the same grower, same pepper. I want to say it was a dragon's breath. Okay, so burnt me down. Nick handled it great. Got ink all day. Handled it great. Okay, so my first realization is this: that burnt me down. Nick is African American, or Revere is African American. Could African Americans and white people in different cultures respond to different capsinoids? That was my first thinking. Okay, so then I deep dive this because that's what I do. And I go on this little journey of what are these capsinoids? How do they affect different people? And how do they affect different cultural backgrounds? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I deep dive this, and that's when I found out there was different capsinoids. So what I think's happening here to everybody, and that's what makes us our genetic makeup different, is those capsinoids burn us all a little bit different.
Right.
So I could go eat this we'll say karma ashes to ashes. And
Mm-hmm.
ashes to ashes is a great sauce to me. It's only peppers, garlic, onions, apple cider vinegar, sugar, lemon or lime juice. Don't kill
Sure.
me on
You're
the
fine.
last one. But the lemon or lime juice. Okay. It's a 2 for me all day long. I can eat a quarter of a bottle of ashes to ashes. It's a 2 for me.
Yeah.
Max, maybe. And that's on my lowest tolerance of days. But I've seen that sauce burn other people down. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because we are sensitive to different capsinoids.
That's
So,
so here's a weird thing for me. A Carolina Reaper or any Reaper, really, I like that burn better, mainly because it's a gradual burn. Like I feel like I
mhm.
can sort of climb with it. I can do I can do Reapers, I can do Primatalis, I can do Scorpion peppers, no problem. Freaking ghost pepper, bro.
Burn you down.
It does. It does. Or a devil's tongue. A devil's tongue's another one. And I think
Devil's
that
tongue.
ghost pepper and devil's tongue are right there on the Scoville heat scale together. Lights me up like crazy.
So going off of that, do you have any like I said, this is unscripted, guys. These are just questions coming to my head.
Yeah.
Um, do you have any color like of peppers that hurt you worse? Do chocolate peppers hurt you worse, or red peppers, yellow, etc.?
I love Jared. This is like the best. Um, God, that's such yes, but it goes deeper. I
Go
feel
deep.
like yellow reapers burn more.
Hmm.
But like a red ghost burns more. I don't find that chocolates burn that bad, personally. I
Hmm.
don't think that mustards burn that bad. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those situations where like your brain associates a feeling an experience with the color. You know what I mean? Like we associate uh, green with not fully ripened or blue with rotten or black with rotten. I don't know if it's like a mental game or not. But it really just kind of depends. I don't think that color does it, but I sometimes wonder if color with the particular pepper strain does do it. Does that make sense? Because I
You know what we
have
should
found that
do?
like a
You know what
yellow
we should
reaper
do?
sucks.
I've got an idea. This
Yeah.
is bad. So, what do you think about a blindfold 3 pod challenge? Okay, live. We do it here. I can send you the same pods. I can have the same pods here, and then we can blindfold ourselves, eat the pepper, and try to guess the color.
Okay, let's do it. I'm down.
Why
Do we have to
not?
eat the whole pod?
No, you can just take a bite. I don't care. Eat the whole
Okay,
pod, not eat the whole pod. I
I'm
don't give a
down.
shit. Whatever. So
Okay.
this, because I kind of like the way you're thinking, because I hate chocolate pods, and I think it's because the first chocolate pod I ever had was a chocolate ghost, and it was so floral, it
Yeah,
just like turned me off so bad.
right.
But if you think about it, all ghosts are floral, Katie. All ghosts are floral. So I'm wondering if I'm just, it's all in my head.
Ghost is one of my least favorite pepper pods, and it blows my mind because when I see people on TikTok, YouTube, like pepper creators, like well, you know them, like Craven Capsaicin, Pot whoever's doing a pepper review, they almost always say that a ghost pepper is their favorite. And I can't understand for the life of me how. I don't like any of them.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm gonna go pull a super hot pod, I want to eat a habanero.
Really,
If I want to eat a super hot pod, I want a habanero.
that's the one for you, huh?
That if I'm going to eat it to enjoy it,
Okay.
it's no secret. I hate fresh peppers. I absolutely can't stand fresh peppers. Um, that's why it's so hard for me in competitions because I don't like the taste of them or the flavor. So I gag the whole time. So I have to mentally get over the gag.
Really,
Yeah, 100%. I can't stand fresh peppers
I did
one,
not know
at
that.
all. It's so gross.
I like this is going to be a really terrible comparison. I hope you're not upset that I'm using it, but like I hated pepper pods when I first started, but I kind of look at pepper pods like bourbon or scotch. The first time you ever taste like a really stout whiskey, you're like, ugh, but then you grow to like it. Like I've grown to love the flavor of raw pods. Some I like more than others. But I really like the taste of a raw pod. The only thing I don't like about it is when we do competitions and stuff. Um, like the burn causes a lot of mucus buildup and stuff, and then like the pods get really slimy when you're swallowing them.
Yeah,
That's the part I
yeah.
can't stand. I don't mind the
And
flavor at all, but the sliminess gets to me after a while.
and if you think about it, that competition was probably prepped the week before. Those pods had to be picked, flown in. By the time you're sitting down eating them, they're starting to get mushy. I mean, let's just be real. Let's call it like it is, right? They're starting to get soft. I was saying.
Do you think so? I thought it was my body's natural reaction to the capsaicin, just like creating mucous membranes and stuff.
I think that what happens is, so say I'm sponsoring a pepper eating competition, and I got special guests. We'll bring him in a minute, but say we're eating or having a special a pepper eating competition. I'm sponsoring it. Okay, mm-hmm. So I go out to my garden. These pods need to be in Dallas, Texas by Saturday. Okay, so for me not to have any holdups, I need to pick them Saturday. Okay, so that means I'm going to go out there, clip those peppers, get them boxed up, get them in the mail. They're going to go to Dallas. Okay, so Dallas is a 3-day trip for me. Okay, so hopefully if nothing goes wrong, I can have them in Dallas. I can have them shipped Monday morning in Dallas by Thursday. You're eating them Saturday. So you're eating fruit that I clipped a week prior. If any of that fruit had even a pinhole from a worm or say a soft spot or something like that, by the time it gets to you on that paper plate in front of you, KTB, that might be a soft pod.
Wow. I never thought about that. I've never been deep into growing. So I'm trying, like as time goes on, I dive deeper into the rabbit hole. No, I didn't even think about that.
And I'll even throw another one. I'll throw you even another one sideways. If you have somebody that harvested those pods, if they clip more of that stem, that's almost like an umbilical cord for a baby. The longer that stem is, the longer that pod will stay fresh on its trip.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I have nothing.
There was I had to bring a box. I think it was like 3 boxes of peppers from Linda's Fiery Treats. So me and Linda are over here on the East Coast. She's in Florida and in South Carolina. And I flew from South Carolina to San Diego with those peppers. And I'm thinking, no big deal. I'm going to put on like, in the carry-on, whatever. And Linda, I don't know. She kept checking with me. She's like, do you think that are they cool enough? Are they dark enough? How did you package them? How did you this? And I'm like, this is more responsibility than I was expecting. And she's like, they could rot in transit. I did not know any of that when I signed up to transport them. But I've learned, like over time, I always swore I'd stay a sauce person, which is why I put saucy at the end of my name, is like almost to say I would never do peppers. But of course, like, it's like a bug that bites. Like for real, you get into it and you just want to know every freaking thing there is to know about any of it. I love it all. I love knowing about the peppers and the sauce and the temperatures they can handle and all that stuff. I think it's fascinating. So
it's a fun time. All right, so I could talk to you for hours, but I have a special guest tonight, and I'm going to bring him in, and I'm going to let him weigh in for a few minutes about how he feels about the subject at hand. Ethan.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you great. So, awesome. Ethan, the subject at hand tonight is, what do you wish somebody would have told you when you first decided to be a burner?
So listening to you guys talk about cap cramps, it probably would have been great for somebody to say cap cramps are normal if you're not prepped. But that kind of piggybacks on the shock and awe of first time experiencing them ever to somebody having to Google them and say, "Oh, I think you're going to be okay." Like if there was a true veteran of the game that said, "Hey, there's these things that come in waves and they're going to hit you like a ton of bricks, but that's okay. Like that's what's supposed to happen if you're not ready for them by prepping." But definitely the cap cramps are the worst of anything, I think. Um, and if you're a beginner in that aspect, the jumping into the deep end of challenges and getting the worst of cap cramps right off the bat will scare you away from what could be a really cool thing right off the bat.
Mm.
So ease into it, get your tolerance up, gradually get those challenges, the harder ones, under your belt, but diving into something really hard, really fast, and it's your first experience, it's definitely going to deter you from wanting to keep going on and doing bigger and better things.
See, that's where I think that I give a lot of love them or hate them. I give a lot of success to League of Fire, and this is why. When I first come into League of Fire, there was no easy challenges, guys. That like you had the option of the Chug Challenge 1 or the Tuba Terror,
Woo.
and that's where you dove in. I shit my pants. My first League of Fire challenge.
Are you
I
being serious?
Yeah, yeah, I'm being serious. So this is what
Both
happened.
nice. Yeah.
So I'm not trying to take Ethan's time here, but I'll give you all a little background. So they launched the Chug Challenge, and I'm like, I want to be in the League of Fire by the end of 2020. That was my goal, and so I ordered the Chug Challenge version 1 from the UK. They came. I was super excited. I got one down great. And if you remember, it was in a hot shots version, so you had to drink them in hot shots, so half a bottle at a time. So I got my first bottle down, then I went to my second bottle, got half of it down, and then I'm like, and this is gonna come up. So as I'm throwing up, it's coming out both ends. I'm shitting myself the entire time. We did not have Hope and I were still earlier in our marriage. We did not have a lot of money, so we were at a
You
friend's
were
house.
lifers after that.
We were using our friend's Wi-Fi at their house, and I shit myself. And I told her, I whispered to her, I said, "We got to go. We got to go." And so that was my introduction to the League of Fire. So I appreciate the League of Fire now. I think that a lot of people, hot take, are capitalizing on the easier challenges, doing multiples thereof to score extra points. I don't care. I'll say it. But I appreciate them putting the introductory challenges out there, where you're not a new burner coming in there and trying to do a freaking Tuba Terror your first day out.
Can I give a League of Fire hot take?
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's cool as hell. Now, I have never gotten into like the leadership boards and stuff, and a lot
Yeah.
of that's just because I'm not going to buy challenges. I'm not a huge fan of challenges. Excuse me one moment as my husband does a kooky dance with his shirt up over his head.
Tell them
All
to do
right.
it on camera. That's the
Eric says
punishment.
save him some. Anyway, like
That really didn't happen. I didn't see it.
Will's been grilling it and having a great day. What
He's
I
doing
love
a
the most,
truffle
like
shuffle behind the camera.
he's doing the truffle. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So like League of Fire, I've never done. I think I've only done one challenge. I'm not into the sheer quantity of the food. Like I want the spice challenge. I don't want to eat a pound of chocolate. I wouldn't do that even if it wasn't spicy. I don't want to eat 150 chips. I don't want to do any of that. But what I love about League of Fire is the motivation it gives me to push myself and try harder. And even if it's like knowing that league is out there, you know, and I love my personal favorite is the pepper eating competitions because I feel
Yeah.
like that's, to me, I feel like it's more pure to the capsaicin sport personally. But like I love knowing that there are people out there that are kind of showing me what I'm capable of. And it's not just in the realm of capsaicin or challenges, but also just as like being a human being and mentality wise. And it's a really cool thing. And it's
I
to me in its
uh,
own right.
I love the fact, and I'm once again, I'm not trying to take away from you at this time, but this is what you get from being on an unscripted show.
Sorry, we don't show.
I love the fact that Shen and Paul and Matt put so much love
Yeah.
and energy into it. And a
Yeah.
lot of people think that they're getting paid for this. I will tell you right now, 100%, they do not make a dime. They fly around on their own dime. They put this together on their own time. They take the time out of their nights after they come home from long nights of work to put these posters together, these bios together, all this crap. So 100%, if you think that they're doing that and getting paid for it, you're living under a rock, because 100% they're not making a dime.
Yeah.
And I love the heart that's behind that whole sport. I love the pot eating competitions. I am not a fan of the speed round, and everybody knows that. I will tell you firsthand, I cannot stand the speed rounds and pepper eating competitions.
Yeah.
But I understand that the venue puts time constrictions on the things.
They need to. They can go on a long time if they don't.
KTB, we got kicked out of Zest Fest.
Yeah,
we were there.
I remember. I know.
We were there.
Yeah.
We got kicked out of Zest Fest. We're never allowed back because we went over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well,
we saw
it's
we
not
saw
like
it
it used to
firsthand.
be. People have beasted up a lot over time.
Guys. So just that's in a whole other conversation, which I love, is guys, we've gone from little drops of Tink to full Robbies to multiple Robbies to freaking Dustin eating 126 freaking Carolina Reapers in one sitting. What?
Yeah. That right there, that's a we need to talk after this, because that's a whole nother show concept right
that's
there.
That's a whole show right
how
there.
How we've evolved from, like, you know, Texas Pete's Black Hot or Black Label was ultra hot to now people taking drops of Tink, and that's not even hot enough. It's insane. It's crazy. But before we go too far on from where you just were, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What would be wrong if Paul and Shin were making money off of it? Don't they deserve it?
I think that they deserve it, but I think that what a lot of the slack back right now is people think that they're becoming millionaires over it, and I wanted to correct correct everyone. They're not becoming millionaires.
When people think that you're a celebrity, they think you're rich. Celebrity or being known and being wealthy are not the same thing.
Well, I mean,
I've always wondered why people get so salty over the idea that they make money off of something that they've built. And what is wrong with that? I'm confused.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you have so it doesn't matter, and I'll go spiritual on you. Even Jesus had haters.
I love you. Yeah.
Even Jesus had haters.
He had at least one.
Yeah, at least one. So even Jesus had haters. So it doesn't matter if you do everything picture perfect all the time. You could be a devout Christian with on the Republican side with liberal views or whatever. We lost KTB.
What about Jesus? Something happened.
Yeah, he's like lightning strike. I don't know if she turned her camera off, whatever, but I'll keep talking. But it doesn't matter if you do everything perfect all the time. You're always going to have haters of some sort. Let's see if I can kick her out and see if she comes back. So let's just continue on the conversation, Ethan. What was your first challenge? And how did you deal with it aftermath wise?
So my first, I would say, legit challenge wasn't anything League of Fire. It was the Go Ham jerky chunk that Go Ham was putting out a few years back. It was kind of just a Facebook challenge that He would send out to people interested, and they had to do it, you know, on camera, eat it, afterburn, and withstand it, give their review on taste, heat level. So that was my first challenge. I'd say that I put myself in harm's way of, because I remember that challenge. I was down here, right here, where I'm at now, eating that and powering through it. I would say that was my first full on like euphoria of eating capsaicin. Coming to the end, like I was burning, but I got to the point where I had like numbed out pretty much all of my mouth, and it was just kind of like going through the motions of chewing and swallowing to get all of it in.
Yeah.
And then I remember doing the afterburn, running to my freezer, grabbing like an ice cream bar, eating that. And then I was like, fine. I was like, oh, like 15, 20 minutes of the afterburn, like it had dissipated enough to be like, okay, this is tolerable heat level. And then I had to take my dog to the vet that same day. It was within the half hour of eating it. I was on my way to the vet. We're sitting in the vet room. They'd come in to like weigh him and check him out, and all of a sudden, cold sweats. And I'm
Gotta
sitting
love it.
there, and I'm like, okay, what did I have to eat? Oh yeah, that's right. I have this hunk of meat slathered in pow and sauce that is in my gut right now, and I don't think I've had anything since probably breakfast, which would have been a cup of coffee. I don't know. And I'm sitting there, and I'm trying not to look like I'm sweaty, but I'm sweaty. And it got to the point where I asked them if I could go to their restroom and if they could watch my dog for a little while. And I went to the back, and I'm pretty sure they thought there was a dog in that restroom with all the dry heaving and like you know that middle of the night sound you hear when your dog is about to throw up, and it's the quickest thing that wakes you up ever is a dog dry heaving to throw up. That's what I was doing, and it was definitely a humbling experience. Got through it, got my dog, but that was probably my first ever full on encounter of cap cramps and the aftermath of eating something spicy.
All right. So this next question goes for both of you. How do you think that your life of this? We're going over, guys. I'm sorry, but I got a couple more questions for you. How do you think this life of capsaicin, or this life that you're leading now, without the supportive spouse that you have, would have been different?
Is that to me
Ethan,
or Katie?
both of you.
Both
Go
of
ahead,
us.
Ethan.
What was the last part of it?
So basically, how do you think this life that you're living right now in the spicy world of capsaicin would have been different if you would not have had the supportive spouse?
Oh, you got some good questions. Swear words. Stand back. You got calm.
Well, I have a short and sweet answer.
Uh-huh.
I could say that I probably don't have the greatest support when it comes to self inflicting pain on myself with eating spicy things. You know, my wife's like, "Why'd you do that again? Like, are you dumb? Like, why did you do that?" But I mean, I wouldn't say like it's like negative feedback, but it's definitely not like a cheers on like you can do it, go ahead. No, it's just like you're stupid. You keep doing that over and over again, and I don't know why you want to be curled up in front of a toilet, laying on the bathroom floor. You know, I was like, well, it is what it is.
All right, KDB.
oh, that's such a big answer, Jared. That's a big question. Will is a lot like Ethan's spouse. Will stands back, rolls his eyes, calls me a dumbass. He's like, "What are you doing this for? This is so stupid." There's more. There's I think that I am a glutton for punishment, in my own right, and I've abused myself in a ton of ways over the course of my life. And I think this is probably one of the more wholesome ways in which I've done that. But I think the greatest part of what comes from burning isn't burning. It's the camaraderie, it's the friendship, it's the experiences, it's
Definitely.
who you guys have pulled. You just don't know. Like I say it all the time in videos, or I write it in a post or whatever. I don't think anyone could fully understand what y'all have done for me. So I would have been hurting myself whether it was capsaicin or not. And my husband would be standing back wondering what the fuck is wrong with me, whether it was capsaicin or not. I'll ride my bike 20 miles. I'll drink alcohol too much. I'll do anything too much. But this is the one thing that I do too much that good things come from. So I don't know if my spouse supports the burn. I think he just supports what positive things come from the burn.
I would piggyback on that. Yeah, that's because my wife is upstairs right now with the kids, getting them put to bed, and she's allowing me to do this without interruption. And so I mean, there's the support is there. Like she knows that this is what I love doing. The community, talking to friends that I don't get to see every day. Or every month, and it's like, so she, this is a release for me to keep me sane, and so in that respect, she is very supportive.
Yeah, so like Will literally just left the house to go get the kids at the pool. Like this is, I could be at a bar, I guess. I could be going to the beach with the girls. I'm not. I just kick it with a bunch of people that are weird like me, and we have a good time.
And so that goes kind of with our comment here from Sean Beecher McBride. Supportive spouse doesn't have to do what you do; they can stand on the sidelines to cheer you on, and he's exactly right. In their own little ways, even Hope. So say I go into live in Cap Crew, and I love Cap Crew. I love the camaraderie there. That's my favorite group. Even though I have some of my own, the camaraderie there is just a little bit. It's a different feel. I can go live over there, completely destroy myself. I'm in the kitchen floor, hardwood floor, laying down, and she steps over me and she's like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And I'm like, "No, I think I'll be good. I'll be out there in a few minutes." And she'll be like, "All right, let me know. By the way, you're stupid." And then she walked away.
That's it. That's it.
And I think that's what kind of Sean's saying right there is a supportive spouse doesn't have to do what you want to do. They can stand by the sidelines and cheer you on. Now, I personally know that Wilbur has been in the sauce before and tasted different sauces when you've wanted him to try something. Allison, not so much. I know that Allison hasn't really. How about this? As far as I've known in our 5 years of friendship, I don't think Allison's really dabbled into the extreme spicy like you.
She checks the capsaicin level of ranch. So
exactly. So she's white girl spicy and not KTB white. She's like clear.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
But I think that a lot of what we're doing right now in our lives, if we didn't have a supportive spouse in those areas, even if they are calling us stupid or why'd you do that, they're gonna be the first one to bring us a glass of milk if we need it, the first one to bring us a cold towel if we need it or whatever. So so with that being said, shout out to our spouses for being there when we need them. So next show, I feel like I want to deep dive the subject of prep. And I think I want to deep dive the subject of what do you do? Why does it work? And I also want to leave our viewers with a factor crap. Okay, so this is a factor crap section, and there's a lot of facts and a lot of crap concerning the realm of capsaicin. I'll give you a prime example. The heats and the seeds. Okay,
crap.
That's something that you hear. It's crap.
Total crap.
It's on the seeds because the capsaicin is formed by the placenta, which the seeds are attached to. And I explain to people all the time that it's imagine a female body Okay, the placenta is the uterus around the seed, which would be the baby. Okay, and that the placenta is what is feeding that baby. Okay, so that's what I try to tell people, and they're like, "Oh, whatever." So here's another factor crap. I planted my bell peppers next to my jalapenos this year, and now my bell peppers are spicy.
Fact.
Fact, or is it crap?
Fact. Your tomatoes would be spicy too,
Why?
because they cross
The dirt's
pollinate.
spicy too.
Do they cross pollinate?
I think it's cross pollinating.
Or do they cross pollinate those seeds inside for next year?
I don't know, but I know that yes, it is fact. If you plant something, I know tomatoes. I'm not sure about bell peppers, but I'm going to say yes for bell peppers. If you plant them close enough to your spicy peppers, they will be spicier. Yes.
Ethan, you want to go or you want me to go?
So yeah, that's crap. But
It's crap.
No, it's not. Are you serious?
Yes,
So
it's
many
crap.
people have told me.
I know
tomatoes are
they're
spicier.
wrong. It's crap. Okay, so this
No.
is
the only effects both any cross pollination would have would be in the next generation of plants.
that is correct.
See, that's stuff y'all got to teach me more about.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
That's like episode
I don't
3 or
understand that
4.
to save my life.
So say let's I'll give you a prime example. Okay, you are a cool latte. You are not spicy at all. Wilbur comes along and he's like, "I'm Latina. I spicy. I do everything for you, KTB." And
That looks
he does
exactly
not.
like
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He does not make you spicy. Once y'all bond, your children will be spicy. Because how would he change your genetic makeup?
Wait, okay, hold on a minute.
So
Wait.
you're the
No.
You're-
What?
You're you.
Yeah. Well,
Will
then how
is
do the seeds
Will.
get that way?
Will is Will.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
the seed is spicy.
So we have a bell pepper and a spicy pepper. But then how do the seeds get spicy to make
Genetics.
Genetics. Just be like
how
it's
do
the
we
same
make those
idea.
genetics happen?
So 50-50 of when those seeds are created, 50% of the spicy plant and 50% of the bell make the genetics of those new seeds. You'd plant those seeds, and there may be a chance that half of those seeds are not spicy, but may look a little bit more like the spicy plant, and the other half may look like bell, but they may have a little bit more capsaicin points on there.
I think we can need to break it down to one more step down. Will has blue eyes, and KTB has brown eyes. Just saying in general. Okay. Just because y'all have sex does not make your eyes change color.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I guess
Your
I'm
baby.
asking, like,
Yeah,
we'll have like
your
green
baby's-
eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
But so what you're saying is if I planted a bell pepper here and a spicy pepper here, these two, of course, aren't going to make any difference for one another.
Mhm.
But how do these two create a spicy spawn?
So cross-pollination
Is
would
that
happen.
a bee thing?
Bee thing, wind. If those spicy pepper pollens come in contact with unfertilized non-spicy pepper flowers, the way peppers work, they can cross-pollinate each other, and then they would create a hybrid of the two.
That's crazy. I want to know more about this. That's really
I
cool.
could talk all day about that. Yeah, that's
I want to know more.
That's my
So
bread
we'll
and
deep
butter.
dive that. We'll deep dive that show. And so I
Yeah.
made a mental note. So one post note I have up here is the evolution of spicy, and that's how far we've come in the past, say, 10 years of spicy, where
I'd
we've
say within
gone
the
from
past like 5 years, how crazy things.
even since 2019 when we came in. But we're going to talk about
pink
this.
wasn't even a thing when we started. Then that was like 2018, 2019.
Exactly. So I'm going to put growing up there as another one. All right. So we need to wrap it up, guys. We're going on an hour here.
Okay.
But all right, next show. I've got it wrote on a post note. Next show, prep, good or bad, and the ugly. And how does prep and chili challenges affect weight gain?
Oh God. Okay. That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
All right.
Yep.
100%.
All right. So everybody, if you're tuning in, thank you for joining us on our first show. Thank you for Ethan for joining us.
Thank you
I
for
like
having
Ethan.
me, and I would gladly be here anytime need be. You make the call, and I will make the effort to be on the show. I love it.
So I really like Ethan being here. I think he provides a lot. So when possible, I said we bring Ethan in as a co-host. What do you think, KTB?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's great.
100%.
And I would
So,
gladly accept that. That would be awesome. Thank you.
all right. So I'm going to go ahead and kick Ethan out here. Thank you, Ethan.
Peace.
Thank you for being here, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. KTB, this went off without a hitch. I think
Yeah,
that the conversation was great. I think it was fun. And regardless, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. And honestly, the hour went by really freaking fast. I don't know what dimension you went into for like 4 minutes, but Ethan held it down.
My mother called. That's what happened. My mom called me twice.
Oh, shout out to Mom for growing the peppers this year.
Oh yeah, I was so proud of her and her little habaneros.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Shout
man.
out.
Yeah, she called.
All right.
That was what happened.
All right. Well, we love you, Mom. All right. So bye, KTB. We'll see you later.
Bye, Jared. See ya.
Bye. All right, guys, that's what you have it. The first episode of Burn Notice. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. Just BS and about Pepper's life, the life of Capsaicin, where we're going, where we've been, and next week or whenever we can get together again, we're going to talk about prep, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how it can affect weight gain on our spicy adventure. Until next time, we'll see you.